Hello, and welcome to Car Adventures with the Passenger Princess. I am your host, said Passenger Princess. My name is Juliana, for the purposes of this video, and legally.
Right.
I'm okay.
My bad.
I'm here with the sister, one of the sisters, Cecily, the driver of the car we will be adventuring in. We are in a 2022 Ford Maverick. It's a
compact pickup.
The color was Area 51.
Area
51, which essentially is like a blue. Let's go over real quick how the procurement of the vehicle occurred.
Sure.
We, and when I say we, I mean my mother, your mother, and myself were in New Jersey. Our mother communicated to you that she wanted a car bought.
Yes.
You were down here in North Carolina at the time. We later on moved to North Carolina a couple months, maybe like a month after the fact. After you bought the car.
I think less than.
Right. And I'll have like another video somewhere linked on that, whatever. But so she, I guess, transferred the appropriate funds for you to go and procure a vehicle. You went in the middle of the night?
This is what happened. Your telling of the story is very dry.
Okay.
You put some flavor on it.
Okay.
And the flavor known as the truth.
Wow.
The truth is, my mother, your mother, our mother, have been saying that she wanted a car for a long time. Both of my other sisters were not supportive in this endeavor.
That's not true. Alyssa was very supportive.
She was, but she wasn't, because when your mother first said that she wanted a car, Alyssa was like, "Did you even do the research? I don't think you should get a car. I don't think it's a good investment, blah, 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 blah."
Okay.
And talked her out of it.
Okay.
And that was like helping her do the research, but like, at her leisure.
Okay.
And I guess your mother was also simultaneously doing her own research. And every time she would tell you that she wanted a car, you were like, "Oh, like, does it even make sense? Blah, blah, blah." Again, talking her out of it.
Okay, and the caveat is, I don't drive. You and Alyssa are drivers. That's the caveat. Anyway, go on.
So,
Passenger Princess.
I, on the other hand, was like, if you want a car, get a car. You make enough money, you can get a car. So, I'm in North Carolina. My mom's having this discussion with Leanna on the phone. I'm on the phone. They're in person having this discussion. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And my mom's like, "Well, if you were here," I'm like, "If I was there, I would help you get a car." She's like, "I wish you were." So then I started looking. Then I started trying to do the research that I would have been doing if it was to the point that, we're about to go get the car. So then I started looking. I'm like, "What car do you want?" She's like, "The only car that I've been looking at has been the Ford Maverick." I'm like,
"Oh, she was actively looking at this car."
She said, "That's what I'm saying." Okay. I'm like, "Your mother chose this car."
No, I thought that she had chosen some other car. And
no, she specifically was like, "I want the Ford Maverick. I think it's so cute." Because in general, when we've been talking about getting a new car, we were like, like a pickup is where it's at. Definitely a pickup. But then we had also driven another car. I forgot about it, but the exact name.
When it was down here?
Yeah, the SUV.
Yeah.
And we were looking at that one. I forget what it's called. Anyway, we were looking at that one because I always think about it, and now I can't remember it.
Well, if I find it, remember it, I'll put it
somewhere, whatever. So she's like, "Yeah, the car that I've been looking at right now is the Ford Maverick." I'm like, "Cool. I'll start looking at what dealership has it and what needs to be done and all kinds of stuff." So I looked at some dealerships here. I'm like, "Okay, well, they have them here." The list price for the car is like $22,000. But obviously you go to the dealerships, they're marking it up. So they had it down here for like 32 or 27, or I think something like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, "All right, well, they have that here at this location in Raleigh somewhere." So I'm like, all right, let me see if I could like make an appointment for you to go look for the car in Queens. So
Okay, not New Jersey, in Queens.
yeah, no, like I looked in New Jersey. I did look in New Jersey first.
Because we were in New
I
Jersey
don't.
at the time.
Yeah, I don't think they had them in New Jersey.
Okay.
So that I started looking in Queens.
Okay.
I called the Queens dealership. Filter. They marked it up.
Filter?
Yeah, I had to filter myself.
Okay.
They marked it up like $20,000.
Wow.
If not more.
Okay.
I think they were trying to sell it for like 47.
Okay.
Almost 50. I'm like, yeah, anyway. So then I called the people for the dealership down here. I'm like, oh, do you guys have any Ford Mavericks? The guy from the dealership is like, yeah, we have like 2 or 3. And I'm like, okay, asked him how much it was. I think he told me like 27 or 33. I don't really remember. But I think it was, I think he told me 27 because then when we got there and it was 33, your mother was very upset.
Okay.
She's like, oh, they're trying to scam me, blah, blah. I'm like, it's, it's a given.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying a car. But so and I'm on the phone with him and he's like, I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll come by tomorrow. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, if you don't come down today,
it's gone.
The car will not be there tomorrow. I'm like, is it on hold? Like, is somebody going to buy it already? Like, he's like, no, like somebody will walk in and buy it between us getting off the phone right now and you finishing, like, deciding that you're buying this car. And
prior to that, you had not had a sense of how popular the Maverick or in demand with Maverick
absolutely
was.
Not.
Okay.
I was inside minding my business.
Right.
Working from home.
Right.
I wasn't on the streets. I wasn't on the pulse of of pickup.
Right.
The side of the internet.
Right. The side of life because
yeah.
Okay.
So we, I run over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be there as I think I said 5:30 or 6, whatever. I had to call him
6 p.m.
Yeah, because this was after work.
Yeah.
Like, she called, like, this was in the span of, like, an hour and a half.
Okay.
2, if you count, like, from when your mother was like, I want this car, to me going to the dealership and talking to this man. It was, like, 2 hours. There.
Okay.
So, we went, and, I'm down for whatever. I'm like, because I was over there, I'm like, yeah, like, I'll go on the financing, like, my credit isn't good though. So if it's going, I'm telling you right now, just in case, because it's like,
this is you to your mother. Is this you to your mother or you to
the to your mother and to
the dealer? Okay.
The dealer, because I thought I was going to the dealership as just like an intermediary.
Okay.
And then they put me on the financing, and I'm like, listen, my credit isn't good. I didn't come here thinking I was gonna walk out with a car because I know that my credit's not good.
Okay.
So I really thought it was just for your mother, and then they put me on the financing and other stuff, and I'm like, I mean, it wasn't what I thought was about to happen, but I'm not in the slightest complaining about it. Because we had Zorro, and he was getting too big to be putting in other people's cars.
Your new puppy.
Yeah, and he was still big enough for me to hold him like this and be able to contain him, but he was getting big.
Okay.
To the point that, like, we would get in cars and people would, like, the drivers would be like, because, they don't want a dog in their car. They didn't sign up for that.
Right, an unruly puppy at that.
Yeah, he wasn't that unruly, though, because he was so small and I could still hold him.
Okay.
But the bigger he got, the more unruly he got.
So it ended up being a very timely boon.
Yeah, very timely, because I would really sit and I would be like, yo, like...
Hold on. All right, so as we were saying, a timely boon that you got the car when you did, because the puppy was getting... big.
The puppy was getting big, and Sam was taking
Ubers
to
a new job
and from work every day.
Okay.
And it was just like,
that was like $40 a day.
It could be up to 40, but it was more like 30,
which is like a whole tank of gas,
right? Which is what I would think every time we would have to take a lift somewhere.
Okay.
Like, literally, like, one trip is just like... Anyway. So, yeah, we got the car, and,
that was back in April.
That was, the end of April.
And now it's, October 1st. October 1st. It really is the season. Okay. And then the reason why, ever since we came down here, my mother and your mother and I came down here in May following a house fire that forced a reflection on, at that time, necessary relocation. But the question was, where is it to be, in New Jersey, or was it going to be an accelerated path to the long-term goal of North Carolina, your mother's long-term goal of North Carolina? And we obviously are now in North Carolina. But what I noticed when we were driving around soon after we came down here was that, I think maybe you had mentioned to your mother, was that you had been being stopped on the regular, asking about the car.
At a stoplight, like in parking lots, you pull up to a parking lot, you're parking the car, somebody's waving you down. I just want to ask you a few questions about the car. And it's kind of weird because it's like, I don't mind answering the questions, obviously, but it's like, everything is so subjective.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, like, the questions they ask is like, how's driving the car? Good.
So,
one, it gets me from point A to point B smoothly, safely. I don't feel like I'm being tossed around by the wind in a tiny car.
Okay.
I don't feel like the car is too big, like how I felt in the F-150.
Question. So you started driving when we were still in New York?
No.
You started driving just New Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have the sense of New York, New Jersey drivers.
I will never drive in New York again.
Okay, New York is the worst, is what you're saying. Of the 3 states?
It's the thing about it. It's not like, I don't think New York drivers are the worst. Everything is subjective. In New York, the highways are narrow.
Narrower than they are down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The highways are narrow. Everything is so congested that it's like when you're in traffic, you're like this apart, like so close to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas like in North Carolina, you could be a good 2-3 car lengths away from someone at any given moment, and it's whatever. Like,
I mean, I feel like I've noticed more off the side crashes in North Carolina than New Jersey.
And that's the thing. I don't know if they're crashes or if it's like people running out of gas. Because that was the thing that I noticed when I first came to North Carolina, was so many cars on the side of the road.
But no, I also feel like there's a lot of debris on the road randomly. Okay. Like a lot of random car mirrors and whatever.
Yeah, that was scary that I would see so many just like abandoned cars.
But I bring this up because you mentioned subjectivity and about the pickups, that everyone, North Carolina seems to be pickup country. Everyone here has a pickup or an SUV. No one has. The majority of people out here aren't driving 4 cars, compacts, the sedans or whatever. They're driving pickups or SUVs. So you get stopped by a lot of people, but subjectively, from what I've seen, they tend to be older adults, and I say older meaning like middle aged, not like younger kids.
Yeah, definitely older adults. I think the youngest person I got stopped by was like maybe like mid-20s.
Maybe it has to do with how car financing and salary thing works down here. Who knows?
But then I saw a TikTok of this girl going around asking her coworkers what their car notes were. Everybody's car note was above $1,000.
Okay. Car note is how much you pay monthly for it. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the first question when people approach you is usually how it drives. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, it drives fine that you're driving. Mm-hmm. What other questions do they tend to ask you?
They ask me about about like hauling stuff in the flatbed. But while we've been running around doing errands and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we put stuff in the flatbed. I still don't think like we load it like the flatbed is supposed to be loaded.
Well, okay. What do you mean loaded?
Like I was looking at different configurations of it online, and like you could put like a plank of wood in like 2 spots there.
Oh yeah, it's not like a spacious thing for like wild carrying.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we did go to that that Big Lots and see that man jerry rig his pickup for stuff it was not supposed to carry.
And a lot of people apparently I don't know about the comparison between the flatbed sizes of this car and like a regular SUV. I know the regular SUV is bigger, and then they have extended cab, not SUV pickups. Then they have extended, not cab, the flatbed, pickup trucks too.
Okay.
So, I'm sure that was a regular one that they had at the Big Lots.
Okay.
But I don't know how like the difference between like their pickup flatbed and ours.
I do want to point out, since you're talking about carrying capacity, that after the fire, I came down here to drive back up with you to New Jersey to move our stuff down, in addition to the U-Haul that we took to bring the rest of our stuff down. And the pickup, what do you call this? The back?
Cabin?
No, where the stuff goes.
The flatbed.
The flatbed was relatively filled up with stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think we have like a small net that I got from I think AutoZone. It's not like the large proper one.
It's the one that's just like supposed to keep stuff from falling out of your trunk.
Okay, but
the one that's supposed to stand up like this, and not the one that's
flat, right?
Yeah, but we used it.
But we used it for this
the top one anyway,
and it worked. We also used.
It's still there right now,
right? And we also used a tarp, and that was pretty solid. So
yeah.
But in terms of the carrying capacity in that case, we filled it pretty well.
The only thing, my only complaint about when we had the back filled was just the fact that I feel like if I could have just tied that tarp down tighter.
Okay.
It would have just been, I think.
Was that an issue of us not having the hooks? Or of the car not having.
Of the space of where to hook, like, alright, so there's hooks all the way along the side.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't think I am, because we were looking.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hooks along the front.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a hook along the front, then I could have clipped the middle of it to the front, and it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, because it was flapping, and we had to like pause to try and
blocking that. So I mean, I feel like that's like, you see how big this truck is over here? Like, it's so big, like on the inside too.
Hold on. An F-150 pulling up next to us, real close, real high.
Like, it feels like a tank.
Okay.
On the inside.
Okay.
And then it has this weird, when you go to back up, it has a bird's eye view of you.
So question, when you'll, something we passed over, when you got the car initially, for some reason they gave you another car to drive around?
When I got the car initially, this car had like just got to the dealership like that day, maybe the day before. So when it got to the dealership, they didn't finish the inspection of the car. So I couldn't drive it off the lot, so they had to give me a different car that had passed the inspection and was fine to drive.
Okay.
And it was, I think a 2020.
Okay.
Ford F-150.
Oh, so the one you drove was an F-150, and that's the one that you said was massive.
Yeah, and I had to climb up into it.
Okay.
And it had the bird's eye view when you backed up the mirror. It was so weird. So,
between the Ford F-150 and the Maverick, if cost was not an issue, which would you prefer to have?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know too much about the F-150.
But how did it drive for you?
It was fine. It was a smooth car. Like, it was fine.
Okay.
It got me home. It got me, around town, all kinds of stuff.
But you mentioned the bigness, the largesse.
Yeah, it was very big. It was, I'm sure, if money wasn't an issue and I wanted a big truck, and I had a lot of cargo to pull around town, like, sure. Like, if I was moving again, I would probably get an F-150.
Okay. Okay.
Because one, you can haul a lot with it. The cabin was very, like, it was like, and it's like we're in the same like width of like this parking spot, let's say.
Yeah.
So like it's not like it's so much bigger, but it felt
spacious.
enormous. And
Okay.
like this was so much wider.
Okay.
And then the seat was wider.
Okay.
And then you still had room. Like
Okay.
both of us could do this like easily, like lean over into it.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay.
And it's just like it's so big. I don't know.
I will interject here and say, as a passenger princess, that the cabin space is my biggest negative for this car.
Yeah.
Because I'm 5'10", your husband Sam is about 6'4".
6'4".
You're 5'8".
Yeah.
And we're not small people.
Yeah.
We're not. We're on the larger side of heft. And it's a tight fit. I always have to go behind her if I'm sitting here and we're going to pick up Sam. I always have to go behind you, and he really can't fit behind you leg wise.
He does sometimes,
but it's tight.
Yeah.
And then when you're driving, sometimes even without someone tight behind you, it's you get like cramps or whatnot because it's a tight car. Or just because of your back.
I think it's just because of my back and how long I've been sitting. But yeah, because like it definitely, that's what I think I did tell your mother that if anything, I wish that the cabin was a little wider, a little longer that way.
Yeah. If it had a little bit more leg room, I think it'd be.
But then the thing is, like, so just buy the regular pickup. Like, why would you get a compact pickup and then you want the bed longer and you want the cabin wider?
Yeah.
Like, just get a regular pickup.
Yeah. Compact pickups are nice for having a lot of
I think for
shopping
what we
to do.
Exactly. For what we use it for.
Yeah.
It's good because we, the gas situation for the car, which I feel like I maybe should have touched on.
Well, you are touching on it
a little earlier. It's really good. One of the guy that stopped me to ask about it, who was in his 20s, he drove a Prius, and the gas prices are about like I think now, and when I said it, the gas prices were around like $3.30
for 87.
Yeah, for 87, $3.30, and I'm able to fill up the tank on like $45.
Okay.
And he's like, he drives a Prius. He's like, that's how much it costs me to fill up my gas tank. So it's like you get a pickup on a Prius's gas tank.
So it's a compact pickup that's fuel efficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could say that.
And then I remember when we were driving again, probably from New Jersey to I want to say
Virginia. We've taken quite a few trips. We've gone from, bought it here. We drove it from North Carolina to New Jersey. Back down to North Carolina, but so.
No, we went to Virginia.
We stopped in Maryland.
Yeah, I thought it was we saw her in Virginia.
On the way back.
Oh, yeah, on the way back we stopped in Maryland.
Yeah, this last time.
We went up to Virginia.
We got in North Carolina, drove to New Jersey, came back. We coming back down south, stopped in Maryland, then came back to North Carolina, then went back up to Virginia. That was the other long trip.
I think so, yeah.
And then back down here.
Mm-hmm.
So the car's only got about like 5,000 miles, but the majority of those miles, I think, not the majority, but the first like
1,000,
2,500.
Okay, you'd say
was that trip?
Okay, 2,500.
Yeah, it cracked 1,000.
Oh, okay.
After we had come back.
Okay.
So we got up there. It still hadn't cracked 1,000, and your mother was driving it back down this way.
Okay.
And that's when it cracked 1,000. I'm like, I'm glad you got to drive your car before it hit 1,000 miles.
We're talking about the gas, and the drive up and down there. Two things I want to point on: the predictive, and I don't know if it's a feature for standard cars at this point in time, but the it telling you how much gas you have left
Mhm.
on the tank. But then also some of the features about the car that, right, I think fantastic. When we were driving late at night, must have been like maybe 2 a.m. We were driving, I think, probably through Delaware and going on our way to Maryland. And I was in one car behind your mother. I was in the U-Haul with my uncle behind our uncle, behind your mother, you, and our other uncle, in this Ford Maverick ahead. And I think I called you. Or I called your mother on the phone. I said, you look like you're swerving a bit. She was tired. And she's no, I'm fine, I'm good. Shortly thereafter, the car says, "What?"
It's like driver alert. Maybe like you should take a break or something.
If you can break, you should go to sleep or something.
Yeah, I think it was a break is needed, and it had like a little coffee symbol.
Which I thought, that's fantastic. The car is like, do you need? Are you alert? Are you?
And honestly, I was kind of offended because I had been driving. No, because I drove all the way from Raleigh to New Jersey, and then had driven back, caught a cramp. Came back from New Jersey, caught a cramp, the craziest cramp that I could not drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in distress.
But you didn't show it.
Got out, and the car was like, "Yeah, no, you're fine."
Then your mother drives it for like an hour or so, in the early wee hours of the morning. It's like, do you need a break? No. But I thought that was a nice feature to have.
Girl, what is this part? Okay.
I thought that was a very nice feature that the car has.
Yeah, I was going through the menu.
Okay.
And you can adjust the sensitivity of those features.
So you can make it more sensitive, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you do have the whole Bluetooth connectivity with the car. You have the outside code to get in with the car.
Yeah.
And you have the heated seats, which I know you like.
The heated seats. I'm actually quite excited because now that it's getting cold, I can use the heated seats and the heated steering wheel.
Heated steering wheel?
Look.
Okay.
And I'm quite excited about that because the steering wheel being cold was one of my biggest pet peeves when we were in New Jersey.
I know that, you've been here about a year. You moved down here.
It's like a year
plus.
And a half.
Because you moved down here in May of 2021.
Yeah.
And now it's October 2022.
Yeah.
And so the car you've had since about end of April. But you didn't really get to experience a lot of Raleigh since you moved down here because, again, you didn't have a car until this year.
Look, see the driver assistance? The blind
the pre-collision assist.
And then alert sensitivity.
Okay. You like the pre-collision assist?
I don't know. Sometimes, like, it's gone off twice without me seeing where the issue was.
Okay.
Because, like, like when I'm backing up and it sees like a car coming in the back and it'll give me a notification. Like I can see it in the mirror. Like I know somebody's coming. But like that I've been driving and it's just like skirt, like pre-collision brake warning. And I'm just like
where?
Like it's happened twice and I've just been like moving along with traffic and like it said that. So
okay.
That was kind of annoying and it kind of made me want to lower the sensitivity, but then I'm like, you know what, let me just leave it alone.
Better be cautious than overcautious than undercautious.
You see the driver alert? You see the little cup of coffee?
Driver alert that's a driver alert. Where's the cup of coffee?
Right there.
Oh, next to it. The little icon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the driver alert, you feel it's generally a good feature.
Yeah.
I've
never gotten it.
You've never gotten it?
Yeah.
But you felt offended on behalf of your mother or yourself?
Myself.
Okay.
And my mother.
Okay.
Because I was in the car.
Okay.
And I didn't think she was driving crazy. I've been in the car and felt unsafe with people driving. And I didn't feel that way when I was in the car with your mother.
Let me tell you what it looks like from behind. Your mother's driving and it's a little every now and then. Here's the thing, and here's the car moving within the lane. So I'm behind her with Tierney, And I'm like, I guess later on he told your mother that he was stressed because I was stressed.
Because you just start, like what was it yesterday when I was just driving? Yeah, when I was dropping Sam off, or I picked him up or something, but I'm driving, and Sam's like, "Oh my goodness!"
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Those two cars down there look like they're about to hit." And it's just like, why are you yelling, like affecting me? I can't even see them; they're not even close to me.
Yeah, but also at that time when we were in the car, we had at some point we had driven through New Jersey, and I realized that something was wrong with the door in the U-Haul, and eventually we stopped, and the whole thing was the U-Haul door wasn't completely closed. So I had been driving, hearing the wind at my ear.
Mind you, everybody's just like, like the car door's open. Is your seatbelt on? Everybody, who has your seatbelt on? Yes, my seatbelt's on. Okay, so open and close the door. No, I don't want to do that
because
I'm scared. Everybody, just open it and just slam it shut.
We're going down the highway. If something happens,
it's one of these. One of those.
Nobody
was telling you to swing the door open.
Okay, we're going on the highway. If the wind sucks something out and I lose it, it's lost forever.
Then it's lost forever. Just close the door. It was probably a pen or a straw.
The point is, the U-Haul, it was locked. So it was locked, but it was locked loosely. So it was. I heard the very lightly.
Everybody, just open the door and close it. Matter of fact, with the speed that you were going at, you could have just opened the door, and the wind probably would have shut it before you could have.
Well, with my fingers. I have terrible intrusive thoughts. Anyway, what other features shall we talk about? Like what? So. So people come to you and you usually tell them positive things about the car. It drives well. It's great all around generally.
Oh, the only thing that I would say that I had to adjust my mannerisms while I was in the car. If you are driving right side, right next to the
Prandle.
Yeah, the gear changer, whatever it's called.
Gear shift?
Yeah. Because it's round. Is this
a stick or something? A stick or a shift?
This is, I think it's called automatic.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not a handle.
It's a knob.
Usually, like, the other cars that I've had, the other cars that I've driven, we'll get a shot of that later.
Yeah.
When it's clean. The other cars that I've had, it's like you're holding it. You have to squeeze a button, and then you can change your gear. And this is just like a
knob.
Yeah. Like the volume button or something. And like I've been driving, reached down to scratch my right leg, and my arm has changed the shift.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but if I just don't reach down on this side, then it doesn't happen, which is why I'm like, I've had to change my mannerisms.
Okay.
But since that one time that it happened, I stopped doing that and it didn't happen anymore.
Okay.
It wasn't like, oh, if you put anything up here, like it'll switch your shift. Like I've had this covered and stuff.
Okay.
I had my purse sitting on top of it and it's been fine.
Okay.
So like,
what about the cup holders situation? It's good?
Yeah. It's good. It obviously would be better if the car was wider.
Right.
But that just, then just bogs back down to if you want a bigger car, then get a bigger car.
So obviously, I feel like we have much more to talk about on the car. But this is about let's say a 5 month, not even 5 months, I guess, going on 5 months.
Yeah.
Review of the car. If questions are had, leave them in the comments, and we will do another check-in on with car updates or answering questions. But you said that you got a notification from the dealership that the 2023 is already.
I got a Google notification.
That
they had already shut down the pre-orders.
Wow. So, maybe we
didn't pre-order this.
Right.
And we're able to get it.
This is the question that also maybe this already came with certain. Was this a customized car that maybe came in already?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, it was customized.
And the financing fell through, so it was at the dealership.
Okay. So then, all in all, this car at the dealership, how much was this? I thought it was 27, but you said 30 something.
I think the sticker was supposed to be 27.
Okay.
But like when I look up like how much the payoff is, it's like 30 something.
Okay. But thanks for watching. I have been your passenger princess. This has been the driver. Listen, friend, you are the one calling me passenger princess. I didn't call myself passenger princess.
I didn't.
True or not?
I didn't make up the phrase. It just is. That's just.
Yeah,
that's
no,
just
it
the
is. But I'm
name
saying
of
you're
the
over here
position.
side eyeing me when it's just a position. Apparently, as you
No,
say.
I'm side eyeing you because mine sounds wet. This has been your passenger princess. That sounds great. And this is the driver.
What do you want me to say? How else am I supposed to sign you off?
I don't know. That's why I was giving you side eye.
I'm your driver. Anyway, questions, comments. Ooh, let me. Don't want people. Questions and comments. We have been in the Target, eating our
right. I wanted to drink my frappe as we went leisurely.
Right, the thing. But I feel like there's a lot of people at the Target this Saturday at it's like 2 maybe right now, and we've just been watching people in the Target parking lot as we've eaten our McDonald's brekkie brek. Wow, this Ford pickup, a lot of these pickups, North Carolina really is pickup country.
Yeah, pickup and crock country.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye. What is that? Well, I guess you learn something new every day.
You didn't know that was there?
No, what is that?
It's like to drill stuff into the flatbed.
Okay, so what you were talking about before about there being a lack of something up there to...
And then look, it's also got this.
This is a charger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can turn on the lights.
Oh, okay. That's what... Okay.
But you see how this is here?
Yes.
And it's also here?
Yes.
And then you've got this.
Uh-huh, but nothing on the bottom and the front?
You can move this.
Okay.
Like you can move it all the way down.
Okay.
But there's nothing up here.
To raise the height or lower the height?
No, to just like for me to...
Okay.
Like hook something to it.